My name is Lucian, and when I was a young man, I got into all kinds of trouble and committing crimes. A friend and I decided to start breaking into gas stations and liquor stores. This went on for a little while until we began breaking into jewelry stores. Did that every month for about 2 years until finally in 2003, decided to hit our first bank. I hit over a dozen banks in about 10 years. Until finally in 2013, it all came to an end when the final bank we were breaking into was surrounded by law enforcement. And I was finally arrested and faced my first federal indictment. When I got to prison, it really didn't affect me. I was having a good time, just playing cards, hanging out, and didn't think at all about changing anything in my life. Didn't think about God, didn't care about God. Kind of knew there was a God, but it didn't really matter to me. About a year and a half into it, things began to change for me when my wife of 12 years decided to file for divorce. My 3 kids didn't even want to come see me anymore where I was at. But when she filed for divorce, I started to think about things and think about everything I'd done. I actually got to a pretty hopeless point, but I found a little piece of paper on the ground actually. It was from the back of a pamphlet. It had a picture of a world and a hand holding it, and it said, "For help from above, write the following address." I wrote that address and they sent me a Bible. When I got this Bible, I thought to myself, well, maybe there'll be something positive in it. I was thinking I'll find something good to read. So I opened up Psalms, and it was interesting because I didn't find anything good. All I found was the wicked will perish, the wicked will be no more, the wicked this, the wicked that. And I started thinking, man, is this talking about me? Like, am I wicked? I never thought of myself as being wicked. So I kept on reading, and one day I came across a verse. It was in Matthew 16:26, where Jesus was telling his disciples, "For what profit is it to a man if he gains the whole world, yet loses his own soul?" I remember reading that, and I just shut the Bible and laid back on my bunk, and all these things were coming back to me. Like, I realized that all that money I'd taken couldn't buy my wife's love back. It couldn't get my kids to want to come visit me, couldn't get me out of prison. And worst of all, I realized that I'd lost my soul in the process. As the months went by, I found myself in Luke chapter 23. And as I was reading there and reading about Jesus hanging on the cross, there was 2 criminals on either side. One of them was just hurling insults at Jesus, and the other one told him, "Hey, leave him alone. He didn't do anything. We deserve to be up here." But the moment where I read that he turned to Jesus and told him, "Jesus, remember me when you come in your kingdom." And Jesus responded, "Today you will be with me in paradise." For me, that broke me right there. I broke down and just cried out to God. That criminal right there, he didn't deserve anything from Jesus, and I didn't deserve anything either, But I think that was the first time in my life that I ever felt true remorse, felt really sorry for the people I'd hurt financially. As the years went by, I continued to stay in the Word, and when I was released in 2019, I came here to the Grove, asked to get baptized, and was actually baptized on Easter weekend. About 6 months later, Pastor Trevor remarried my wife and I right here in the chapel. I ended up starting my own trucking company. I actually named it 1626 Transport from Matthew 16:26. And for me, it's a reminder to always remember what's most important in life, not the money, but my soul. I realize now that everything I have, everything I do, everything is all because of Jesus. The breath I take, my heart beating, I realize I gotta stay abiding in Christ every day. Tomorrow's never promised. There's no better day than today. I know it takes time. It took time for me to come around to realizing who Jesus was. The problem I had was I didn't realize I ever had a problem. I needed to be convicted first. I would say if you're struggling to know who Jesus is, just open up to him, and just get in the Word and ask God to show you, to reveal himself to you, who he is and what he wants from you in your life. The hope in Jesus is something you just can't put your finger on. It's a hope, his mercy and grace, to be accepted, to be able to just be forgiven just like that, is something that you can't find anywhere else. He's completely restored my family. He's restored my life, something I didn't deserve. I really just deserved to rot away in prison for all that I had done. But God has completely given me a new heart. And always be grateful for that.